What's going on, everybody? Gold and Blue Dude here, back with another video just for you. So if you're a college football or a college basketball fan, please hit the like and subscribe button. That's all we do here, videos every single day. We also have a bunch of other stuff we're working on. We have a great Patreon page that we're pouring a lot of time and resources in right now. We have a great website that was created by Joey Foster. We have 7 great writers, but we're looking for more. So if you want to give your team some exposure, email me and we'll make you a writer for the Gold and Blue Dude website. Also, the merchandise store. I'm really loving the merchandise store. We have a lot of stuff over there. I'm ordering stuff from the merchandise store. That's how good it is. And don't forget, you can support Gold and Blue Dude through PayPal. And right now, every donation will go towards getting a P.O. box so you can send your team's mini helmets so I can display it forever. Already got a shelf. So every little bit will help towards getting a P.O. box. I'll leave the link to all that stuff in the description of this video. Now, usually I cover all of college football and all of college basketball, but this is going to be a West Virginia video. So if you're not a West Virginia fan, you're more than welcome to stick around, but I'm just letting you know. I did a video on Neal Brown's approval rating. Well, really a list of the coaches of the Big 12, current and future, and their approval rating, and Neal Brown was at the very bottom. And I understand that West Virginia fans aren't too thrilled with the job that Neal Brown has done so far, but you really got to dig in and find out what's going on at West Virginia. We're actually headed in the right direction. I know you want to go by final scores and final records, which is the final product. It does matter, don't get me wrong. 6-4, then 6-7 is just not headed in the right direction in most fans' eyes. But you got to look at the entire season first of all. We had 4 of the 6 losses in the regular season, 50-50 football games. You flip 2 of those, that's an 8-4 season. You flip all of those, that's a 10-win season. Then you look at the actual issues that West Virginia has been having, and that's on offense. Our defense is fine, and I think our defense is going to be even better this year. Oh, Gold and Blue Dude, but Nick Troy Fortune entered the transfer portal. So what? Our defense actually got better after he got injured. Now, I'm not saying I'm glad he got injured. Of course not. But Charles Wood stepped in, and he became a great cornerback. And all these players that are entering the transfer portal, they're Dana Holgorsen guys. So we've been slowly cleaning the cupboard away from Dana Holgorsen guys, and we're recruiting speed. We're not in Oklahoma and Ohio State and Alabama, all those programs that recruit top 10 year after year. The only way to combat that is to recruit speed and length. And that's exactly what West Virginia is doing. An underrated recruit that West Virginia has is Mumu Binwanhad. You guys need to look this guy up. He is a very fast quarterback for West Virginia, and he is the future of our defense. The potential to be a lockdown corner, but I think Neal Brown also needs to use him in the return game because the dude is super quick. His recovery speed, if he does get beat, which is rare, is incredible. So look for Mumu to be used in the return game. And also, we love Letty Brown. Love Letty Brown. He was a great running back for West Virginia. But Lynjay Dixon is definitely an upgrade from Letty Brown. Letty Brown ran a 4.740. Lynjay Dixon runs a 4.440. That's much quicker. So West Virginia is definitely focused on getting speed. And if you go back and watch the 2006 Sugar Bowl, what did they say Rich Rod was focusing on at West Virginia? Team speed and length. When did West Virginia have the most success? Under Rich Rod. So Neal Brown is actually following the formula that Rich Rod followed in order to have success, and that's speed and length. And our running back core could be one of the best in the nation. I'm telling you, we have 3 4-stars in the backfield. 3. Don't forget about Jalen Anderson, the 4-star recruit. That guy is a beast and he's quick. And Tony Mathis looked better and better throughout the year last year. A lot of people want to talk about the offensive line, and I totally understand that. Trust me, it looked bad. But if you go back and watch last year's season, after the bye week, they actually got better and better and better. Now they have a full year under their belt. They're going to have more chemistry. I think the offensive line is going to be much better this year. And Graham Harrell, the offensive coordinator for West Virginia, massive hire. West Virginia fans do not realize how big of a hire that is. Even when he does have an offensive line that's not very good, his play calling is designed to mask that. So he'll design plays away from the offensive line, maybe a bootleg, maybe a toss sweep, stuff like that, to kind of mask it until they do finally come together. So the play calling, I'm telling you, the play calling is going to be much, much better. We're going to see explosive plays. And I guarantee you West Virginia is going to throw it down the field much more often this year. People were talking about spring practice, how Garrett Green looked great, Will Crowder looked great, Nico Marker with that 55 corner out was spectacular. So another thing is, since Graham Harrell was a former quarterback at Texas Tech, he knows how to speak to quarterbacks better than the previous offensive coordinators, and it's giving them confidence. So this year, our quarterbacks are going to be much better, and we'll be like, where did these guys come from? Garrett Green didn't look anywhere as good as what he is now. It's because they're getting confidence under Graham Harrell. Not to mention, JT Daniels is expected to be in Morgantown today. So West Virginia is doing something right because we are attracting better talent. So stop focusing on who's leaving. That's a good thing. Who's ever leaving, That's who needs to leave. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes it's a mutual thing. Maybe the coaches and the player actually agree, or maybe the coaches actually approach the player and be like, you're actually not going to fit in with this particular scheme. You might have more success if you go somewhere else. That's a real thing. It's not just a player going, well, this team, no, this is a lost cause, we're leaving. Because a lot of people that have talked to the players that have left West Virginia say that the players actually have great things praising Neal Brown, so they're not leaving because of Neal Brown. And wait till after the spring games, after April, whenever good players realize, hey, I don't fit in this scheme, and they're going to enter the transfer portal, and West Virginia is going to jump that. So our cornerback position on defense is fine. Incoming cornerbacks Mumu bin Winahad and Jacoby Spells are going to be spectacular. Our defensive line might be one of the best in the Big 12. Our linebacking core, it does have talent, but we need more depth. Now the safety position is probably the biggest concern. Very, very young, but we do have talent in the safety position as well. So the defense is set. Now let's go on over to offense. Offensive line, big concern last year, but they got better and better and better. I think they'll be much better this year. Quarterback position, much better than last year. Honestly, I think if Graham Harrell would have been our offensive coordinator last year, Jarrett Daggy would have been a better quarterback. That's how big this hire is. Graham Harrell will make our quarterbacks better. Our running game, much more explosive. Lynn J. Dixon, he told Neal Brown straight up, if you give me the ball 3 times in a row, I will take it to the house. His words. So he's saying 1 out of 3 times, if you give it to him consecutively, he's going to take it to the house. That's confidence right there. And not to mention the experience of Tony Mathis and Jalen Anderson. The potential that guy has is limitless. What about our wide receiving core? I think our wide receiving core is going to be fine as well. We will get some more through the transfer portal after spring games are over this spring. But we still have Bryce Ford Wheaton and Caden Prather, our top 2 wide receivers. And look out for Caden Prather. This dude will have a breakout year this year. I promise you that. I know a lot of people are hanging all their coats on Bryce Ford Wheaton, and he has proven himself. But I'm telling you right now, Caden Prather is the guy to keep your eyes on. And one of my subscribers actually emailed me this. I thought I'd address it real quick. And I'm not talking trash about him, and I'm not looking down on him, but I want to do a comparison real quick. So here is his prediction of West Virginia for the 2022 college football season. And he actually gives reasons. I like that. First game on the road against Pitt. That's a loss. They still returned some pretty good players, talking about Pitt, from a good run in 2021. And it's at their place. We lose in a close one. 0-1 West Virginia. I'm actually okay with that. Pitt's probably going to be a good team this year. But I think West Virginia has a real shot to win that game. Remember, Pitt cannot fill that stadium. Even when Clemson came there last year, couldn't fill it. Next team, Kansas at home. Win. They might get 2 or 3 wins this year, but not against us at home. Especially after a heartbreaking loss, saying that West Virginia had a heartbreaking loss against Pitt. So West Virginia, he has them 1-1 now. Towson at home. Win. Feel good game for WVU fans, but meaningless. That's true. They're FCS. So 2-1 for West Virginia after that. Next game, Virginia Tech on the road. Loss. He's saying it's going to be a 50-50 football game. Gotta say that's a loss for us. So that'll put West Virginia at 2-2. Next game, Texas on the road. Lost. No matter what folks might think of them, it's still Texas, and the game is at their place. I think they'll be out for blood after losing 6 in a row last year. So after that, West Virginia would be 2-3. I highly disagree with that. That's the only one that I highly disagree with. Next game, Baylor at home. Lost. They have some good kids coming back from a good team. Sadly, I think they'll have our number again, even at home, for West Virginia. I disagree with that as well. I think West Virginia has an excellent chance of beating Baylor at home. So he has us at 2-4 now. Next game, Texas Tech, also a 50-50 football game. Win. We seem to go back and forth with this team. I just think we'll win in a close game. It'll be the best road win of the year. A good vibe will take over after a win the next week. So West Virginia would be 3-4 after that. Honestly, I don't know how a good vibe would happen after being 3-4, even beating Texas Tech on the road. Next game, TCU at home, 50-50 football game, but he's saying win. We win a home game. Look like we have some life. 4-4, baby. Things are looking better, right? Wrong. This next stretch is where it gets ugly. So after the TCU win, he has us at 4-4. Next game, at Iowa State. 50-50 football game, but a loss. We caught them last year at Milan Puskar. They repay the favor in Jack Trice. So that puts West Virginia at 4-5. Next game, Oklahoma at home. Lost. They just have our number in league play. I agree with that, but this is where West Virginia can catch Oklahoma off guard. Complete new coaching staff. It is in West Virginia. I like West Virginia's chances of breaking that losing streak against Oklahoma. It is a home game, and folks will be pumped, but it will never be in doubt. We lose by 18 plus points. Highly disagree with that. 100% disagree with that. If we do lose against Oklahoma this year, it'll be kind of like last year, like a field goal type of thing. But I honestly think West Virginia can beat Oklahoma this year. So that puts West Virginia at 4-6. Yikes, this is a nightmare scenario. Next game, Kansas State at home. He has that as a win. A home game for us, mid-November, we win by 10 plus. Question is, will Milan Puskar only have 45,000 or less even there? Well, if we go into that game at 4-6, I would say less than 40,000 to be honest with you. So that leaves us at 5-6 with a chance to get to a bowl. But the last game at Oklahoma State, lost. Road game. Questions about the direction of the program. No bowl. We lose by 2 touchdowns. Finish the season 5-7. So there's a lot that I disagree with right there. I understand where you're coming from, but you're kind of off in some of these predictions. Number one, that first game against Pitt, I think West Virginia has just as good of a chance as Pitt to win that game. The Texas game, I know it's on the road, but Texas is not going to be very good. I tried to warn people, Steve Sarkisian is not a very good coach. That is a win for West Virginia. In the home game against Baylor, I think that could be a win as well right there. Then the other big disagreement would be Oklahoma at home. So that's where our records kind of get flip-flopped. I have West Virginia going around 8-4. You have West Virginia going 5-7. Now later on in the off-season, as the season gets closer, I'll do an actual prediction video. But guys, I'm telling you, West Virginia is headed in the right direction. The couple things that were wrong with the team last year, Neal Brown has directly addressed. The big one, hiring Graham Harrell as the offensive coordinator. Guys, it's a bigger hire and a better hire than you realize. And that's why we caught the eyes of JT Daniels, and he is in Morgantown. He has ties to Graham Harrell. West Virginia has an excellent shot of getting JT Daniels. Y'all let me know in the comments section what you think about the direction of the West Virginia football program. You think it's headed in the right direction or the wrong direction? That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on my next show.